political rally got people arrested. Why? Coronavirus, public health, nothing's more important. That's what they told us. They were lying. It turns out they just didn't want us talking and challenging their power. We told you that at the time. It turned out to be absolutely right. We know that because now that a movement has emerged that will increase their power, the same people aren't just allowing protests in the street, but encouraging them. Eric Garcetti threatened the residents of Los Angeles with punishment if they walked on dry sand. We showed you the tape. Yesterday, Garcetti kneeled with protesters, prostrated himself before them, begged their forgiveness. He even touched some. Where was the social distancing, Eric? None. But coronavirus didn't vanish. The question is, could it spike in cases leaders previously warned of? Will it? NYU Langone Professor Mark Siegel has some thoughts on that. He joins us today. Doctor, thanks so much for coming on. Is this bewildering? Unravel it for us, if you would.
It's not bewildering, Tucker. I have to tell you, I'm coming to you from the heart of New York City tonight in my office where I'm only allowed because I'm essential medical personnel. Entire city of New York is locked down. It's also, of course, now under a curfew. What an eerie feeling. But I'll tell you what the heart of the problem is. You already alluded to it. It's our leadership. Can we believe leaders, mayors, and governors who 1 week say you have to be locked down because of COVID-19 and the next week they totally forget about COVID-19, and as you say, they're getting together with protesters who are not obeying social distancing, that are in anger. And I have to tell you, in my book on fear, I point out that when you're angry, when you're having a lot of emotion and passion, you know what you do? You don't take precautions. So they're handing out masks, right? Jacob Fry in Minneapolis is handing out masks to everybody, and they're rubbing their masks, and they're spitting through their masks, and they're touching each other. Well, Minnesota has 7 cases on June 2nd, thank God. They've dropped all the way down to 7 cases in the whole state of Minnesota. They're up to phase 2 reopening. So we're waiting to see, Tucker, what is going to happen to Minneapolis now. We're all for the First Amendment, for protesting, of course. But listen, Jacob Fry didn't like the idea that we were going to reopen churches and put 25% of churches, of each church open, which is also First Amendment. Now, I'm wondering what's going to happen to Minneapolis now with all of these protests and no social distancing. 25 centers, hotspots around the United States, according to the Associated Press, are worrisome for the issue of what's going to happen with all this protesting, all this congregating together. What's going to happen a few days from now? Just a few days from now, what will happen? Will we see a spike in cases? And I want to tell you something interesting, Tucker. To me, this is a public health experiment. You and I have been saying from the beginning, we don't believe lockdowns work. We think they're draconian. We think they're unnecessary. Well, guess what they're doing? Our leaders are relieving the lockdowns by allowing people to congregate. So I am going to be able to come on this show next week and tell you, lockdowns helped or they didn't because they're being violated all across the country. And if we don't see a spike in cases, as a result, we'll know that the media and our politicians were overhyping the lockdowns to get political gain. They made a mistake, though. They shifted over to First Amendment rights to protest and forgot about COVID-19. Well, if COVID-19 comes back, they're going to look awful foolish. And if it doesn't come back, they're going to look foolish, Tucker.
It's just very different because before people wanted to worship God in church, which is obviously immoral. Now they're looting the Apple Store, which is, needless to say, civil rights. So you can see it's very different. Doctor, thanks so much.